So what is up, metal fans? Today I am doing an unboxing video. I've never done one of these before. I always thought it would be fun. As I've talked about in some previous videos, I've gotten back into buying CDs like I used to. I used to buy, oh my gosh, I used to get like 5 to 10 CDs like coming like a week back at one time. But yeah, I've made a pretty big order from Gary Shafer, the Heavy Metal Museum, off his eBay store. I recommend, if you're into some really good like obscure metal bands, like some true heavy metal bands, that's the place to go. He also usually shows up at Legions of Metal Festival, and I bought so many stacks and stacks of CDs over the years from that guy. But yeah, so here's one box. I haven't even used the scissors to cut it open yet, so I thought we can enjoy this together. And basically what I have here is nothing in particular that I was like, oh my gosh, I need this certain CD like right now. It was just, I seen his store on eBay and I decided to go through and just kind of browse. I couldn't even get through his whole inventory without like having to stop. I just ended up picking out about like 8 CDs and I stopped, and there was a lot of stuff that blew my mind that was in print now, like stuff that I was trying to find for years and years, and I just all of a sudden like, wow, that's in print now, that's in print. So I just threw some random stuff in there. This thing's taped up really good, that's why it's taking me a while. There we go. I found the sweet spot. All right. Looks like Gary Shafer packages stuff really nicely. I know I've ordered from him from his eBay store, but usually most stuff I bought was from Legions of Metal Festival. Oh yeah, a big stack of CDs right here. And I also got one extra CD that's by itself. I know what it is, but I won't tell you yet. Let's see here. All right. So I'll just start pulling these from the top. We'll go through it one by one. Hydravane. I believe this is a British thrash metal band, and I have their second album, which I honestly have not listened to it for a long time. I remember it being good, nothing like life-changing, but good. And I listened to this after I found it in Gary Shafer's store and checked it out on YouTube, and this one I think is even better. This one's fun. Like, it just sounded like some full speed ahead, like speed thrash. But yeah, I know I've been needing this for a while, and it wasn't easy to get for a while. So there's Hydravane. This is something weird. This isn't technically heavy metal, I guess. It's metal enough to me in the same way that like the Rods is heavy metal. But I used to see this all the time, and I never bought it, and I finally gave it a listen, and I like it. Axe. The album's called Offering. I used to see this all the time and just not checked it out until recently. But I finally bought it. It's not like super heavy metal. There's a few tracks that are kind of AOR that I heard. I mean, a couple of them I don't like that much, but the rest of it's actually pretty good. It's right on that line of like heavy metal. So if you like the Rods, you would probably like Axe. So, you know. So yeah, so I finally got that after all these years. This one I actually already have a version of, but it just kind of seems looks like it was on some tiny record label and just kind of janky. It even had a slip sleeve cover for it, which was kind of nice, but I just felt like it wasn't authentic enough. So I got Heavy Load Stronger Than Evil. Like, this kind of looks like the definitive version, and it even says it's mastered directly from the original analog tapes by the Walquist brothers. So I think they're guys in the band. I am really excited. It's got bonus tracks, Air Raid, Lionheart, I'm Alive, Day of Dream, and Sleipnir Unleashed, whatever. Yeah, I love this album too. I love Heavy Load. Great Swedish heavy metal. A little bit somewhat on the epic side, but kind of like a new wave of British heavy metal sound, sort of. Yeah, look at that. That's cool. I'm so glad to have like a really good pressing to be proud of. Finally. And of course, I got that one. I also needed to buy their second album, Death or Glory, which again, I have a version. This is actually my third time buying this CD. First version I got, I'm sure, was some bootleg. It was even missing a song. It was missing The Guitar Is My Sword. So I found a version that had The Guitar Is My Sword. And, I mean, it looked okay. As far as I know, it looked like it had like a matrix code. If you look at the CD and you look around the inner ring on the bottom of it, like there's a little code. I've been told that if it's got one of those, it's probably a real replicated CD, but I don't know 100% if that's 100% fact, but it's a good sign, I guess. But it did have one, but I still wasn't happy with my version, and as much as I like this band, I really, really wanted a solid version, and this is it. Also remastered by the Walquist brothers, which I'm not big on remasters necessarily, but so I might keep my old versions if I want original, in my collection, but I don't know, this might sound nice though, so I'm okay with it. Because this old stuff, some of this stuff's kind of thin anyway. But also has bonus tracks: Dying Is Losing, Take Me Away, Trespasser, and The Guitar Is My Sword, which I actually didn't know. Really, I didn't know Take Me Away and Trespasser were bonus tracks, because they were on my other copy. Interesting. But yeah, I actually have real versions of their first album, Full Speed at High Level, and I have an official copy of that EP that they had that was, or whatever, it's like Metal Conquest or something. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, I have good versions of that, but now I got good versions of all of them, which I'm happy about. Next, and this is also a rebuy, and I don't know if this is going to be better than the one I got. I'm thinking it is, but this is one of my top favorite metal albums of all time, and I believe it's a German band, Brain Fever. Whatever Brain Fever means. This is one, oh man, I love this CD. I mean, every track is just phenomenal, very memorable, nice. Just, every song has like just this nice vibe. It's kind of just, I don't know, it's almost like euphoric to listen to me. I don't know why that is. And it does come with the bonus tracks too. I might get rid of my original one because the reason why I rebought this is because the one I bought before, I can't remember the record label, but it sounds like a vinyl rip. And while some stuff I have, like from like old metal records, is all vinyl rips, for better or for worse, this one sounds like a dirty vinyl that every time it spins around, there, like from the third track on, like it just popped. Every time it went around that, it just popped. Over and over and over, pop, yeah, over and over, and I just got on my nerves. It was unlistenable, so I ended up buying the vinyl, and ripping it onto a CD. But now I actually have another copy. Hopefully it doesn't have the same problem. I'm hoping not. It says on the back, restored and remastered by Andreas Neuderth. I guess it's how you say his name. Which isn't that Nudie guy? Is that the same guy that if I don't know if I'm saying it right, so I just apologize if I am. Didn't he like play for Manila Road or something? I could be wrong about that. I don't know, but I think that's the guy. I'm super excited about that. So hopefully this is a better version, because I will be listening to this a lot. One of the best new wave of British heavy metal bands ever, and I'm so sad to say I'm just starting to find to get the whole catalog together. Tank. This is their 5th album, and this one just called Tank. I've not heard much from this album. I do remember the production was kind of bad, which was kind of weird because this is like their 5th album, but yeah, I'm really excited to have this. This one's on High Roller Records. I don't know why. I've always liked High Roller Records. Their stuff always looks like good quality. But this one has a slip sleeve on it. I'm starting to really like slip sleeves. I don't know. Back in the day, I thought they were annoying when I was actually listening to the CDs. But now I just rip them onto my phone. Now I think they're kind of cool. But yeah, so I'm excited about that. I love Tank, man. I'm embarrassed to say, but I just recently got the Filth Hounds of Hades like a few weeks ago, and I'm really embarrassed that I just now got that, and it's one of the best albums one of my top favorite new wave of British heavy metal albums, probably. Okay, this one, I remember hearing about this band a long time ago. I just never could find any CD copies of this band ever. But the other Slayer, but this one's called SA Slayer, which stands for San Antonio Slayer. So obviously they're from San Antonio, Texas. I always thought this was going to be like a thrash metal band, but when I heard a few clips recently before I bought this, it actually sounded more like power metal, like 80s power metal, traditional metal, which is really cool. I mean, I don't really care either way. It does look like it should be thrash, but yeah, who knows. But I don't know. I've heard some mixed things about it, that it's not that great, but I don't know. I think I'll like it. Looks like this even has some like bonus stuff. Oh, Prepare to Die must be an EP. Oh, okay, yeah. Go for the Throat and Prepare to Die. Very cool. I like that I can get an EP and an album on one disc or whatever. That's cool. All right. So, last but not least, well, at least from Gary Shafer, from this order, I got another Tank album. So this is Power of the Hunter. This is their 2nd album. Yeah, I don't know. I've barely heard anything from this, so I don't know if it's quite like Filth Hounds of Hades, but I do know this is between Filth Hounds, when this came out, Filth Hounds and This Means War. So those are 2 great albums, so I can only imagine this is as great. Also High Roller Records. Again, I love their packaging, and there's just something quality about the way they look. But yeah, so I'm excited about that. I've been listening to Filth Hounds like on and off a lot lately. So yeah, so that's it. That's my 8 CDs from Gary Shafer, and I got one more that came today. And you know what? God knows what other stuff Gary actually had. I couldn't go through his whole... It's just so massive. I sat there for 30 minutes going through it and picked these out and never did get to the end. So there's probably some other stuff on there that I really, really want. But let's see here. Yeah, I know what this is. So, and I also have like 3 other CDs. No, I got like 4 other CDs coming. One's going to come a little later, but This I'm just kind of mildly excited about. I kind of just collect this band because I always have collected this band and they're one of my favorites. But I did finally, I did a Running Wild video, like my least favorite to favorite album, and I mentioned that I didn't have this album, so I bought it. I've heard a few songs. It really doesn't sound like it's going to be something that's going to blow my mind, but I imagine it'll be good. If it's as good as Rapid Foray, then cool. I'll be fine with that. But, you know, I just feel like at this point I have to own everything they got, so why the heck not? Because I've already got everything, and I'm just so familiar with this band that it'd feel wrong not to have it. So, yeah. So that's what I got. And, well, I can go ahead and tell you what I'm getting still coming. I remember I once had this, the CD by the band Cyclone. It's called, like, Brutal Destruction. I had that once a long time ago, and I didn't think I liked it that much, and I sold it for some reason. And then it became, like, super rare, hard to get, and I just won an auction recently, like a few days ago, and I got it for like $20. So I'm like, all right, so back to my collection it is. I might like it better. I don't know why I didn't. I thought it was generic at the time. I don't know, but it was years long, over 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago. So anyway, and also with that order, or not with that order, with another order, I got the 2 newest Gravedigger albums that I missed out on, and I believe that's also coming with the new Jagdpanzer, the Hallowed. So, unfortunately, it doesn't get released with, like, I noticed some people already have the Hallowed in their collection now. Like, it's already got in their possession, and I'm, like, still waiting on mine to be released from Amazon. Like, I don't know how that happened. Maybe they bought it from the band. But I got that coming with the Gravedigger. So the Gravedigger, I guess, is going to go with the Jagdpanzer, and it's going to come later. So, yay. But at least I have that to look forward to. But anyway, guys, that was fun. I'm going to go rip these CDs and listen to them all day while doing some deliveries. So, stay metal and buy a lot of CDs and check out Gary Shafer. Till next time.